back to the channel. Another golf ball review for you today, and we're reviewing one that honestly I did not know much about. This is, of course, is the Zero Friction Spectra golf ball. Let's dive in and let's see if it's worth your time or not. So first of all, like I said before, I've never heard of this golf ball really. I mean, I've kind of seen the logo from time to time. I mean, you will see it. You probably recognize it from maybe being in a golf store or something like that. But if you're like me, you've probably never used them. They come in a variety of matte colors, basically. They have pink, white, orange, red, and green. This one, of course, being the orange one. I also did have a green one as well. And of course, a lot of people are really liking this matte neon look. It's very bright, you know, it definitely is a good way to show personality. But overall, the big question is, you know, we test a lot of golf balls on this channel, and overall, the big question is going to be, can it compete? Can it at least stay in the market and at least kind of make a name for itself? Because if you have a name that doesn't carry a lot of weight, you know, this isn't TaylorMade we're talking about, this isn't Callaway, this is a golf ball that basically, it's not even Vice, to be honest with you. This is a golf ball that a lot of people really haven't used. I mean, even on their own website, they only have 3 reviews. So it's definitely still trying to break the market. It's trying to get some awareness out there for sure. So let's dive in. Let's see how it is. First of all, let's start off with the design of the golf ball. So Zero Friction's logo is kind of interesting. Basically a Z with a big circle around it. It's modern, it's kind of cool, it definitely is unique, but it's definitely one when you see it on the course, you're kind of left scratching your head because you're like, man, what kind of golf ball is this? This one has the 00 right there below, and then if you look on the side, that is not much of an alignment tool, but Golf Dotz has kind of came through big here for me. They sent me some alignment tools, which I love, so we're going to take this terrible alignment tool here on the side that they have, and we're going to put that focus on it just like that right there, and now we have a lot better of an alignment tool, so that's awesome. So I'll be using that quite a bit. I honestly have been using these. I love them. You know, it's like I said, sometimes you get a really good golf ball, and if you've seen my channel before, you know how much I love alignment tools. Sometimes it just doesn't have a good one, and now being able to slap something like that over the top of it and have a good alignment tool has really been helping me out. So we got that covered now. So overall, it's not a bad design of a golf ball. It does look pretty cheap. It's a Surlyn cover. The matte look ends up looking so much better if it is actually more of a premium golf ball. You could definitely tell the difference between a cheap one. It almost looks plasticky. I mean, it looks really plasticky. It looks almost like a children's toy. So I'm a little nervous about that, but let's go ahead and real quick, I do want to touch on this. So, you know, one of the things I look for in a golf ball when I'm trying to test it is, who is the golf ball for? Who is the company designing it for? And I went to Zero Friction's website, and unfortunately I was left with only this. This is the description from the website. Our new Zero Friction Spectra matte finished golf balls are a 2-piece distant golf ball with a soft Surlyn durable cover available in 5 neon colors plus matte finish white. Large super fast core provides explosive distance, high launch, and longer roll off the tee. 4 Spectra matte finished balls per sleeve, 3 blah blah blah. So again, that doesn't tell me anything about who it's made for. Is it for beginners? Is it for intermediate? I mean, I know just from testing enough golf balls that it probably is a beginner golf ball. It's a 2-piece. It is a Surlyn cover, so it's very cheap. It's probably just got a really big core designed to get you a little bit extra distance, and that's probably it. There's probably not going to be much spin to be had. But mentioning that on your website's a big deal. There's a lot of competition now, and people want to make sure they play the golf ball that's right for them. And if you have something really generic like that, that doesn't tell me anything. That's going to completely shy me away from that. Also, the golf balls are $22 per dozen, and that's getting toward the high mark. I mean, that's your Srixon soft feels. That's slightly below like your Callaway Super Soft, but it's definitely up there. You can get the cut golf balls for $1 a golf ball. You can get the Wilson Zips for $1 a golf ball. So it's really difficult to have something this high priced unless there's numbers to back it up. So let's go out to the chipping and putting green. Let's see how we did out there, and we'll go from there. Okay, so that golf ball came off really hot. Honestly, I wasn't expecting that much bounce. It has a very big bouncy ball effect, and to be honest with you, I'm having to take a little bit off my putter, which is really good for beginners, but the more experienced golfers that are used to the Pro V1 and stuff, there's a learning curve there because you're gonna have to bring your putter back about half as far as you normally would. Otherwise, you're gonna be going past the hole. The golf ball has a ton of bounce, which necessarily isn't always a bad thing. Whoa. Again, whoa. Okay, so honestly, it's very bouncy bally off the face of the club. I mean, it just sprung. I overshot the hole by like 10 yards, it feels like. It's definitely a learning curve there. There is no spin. I mean, it's basically acting like it might check up, but then it has a very straightforward release and it rolls forever. So I'd say there's really not much spin to be had there at all. But overall, it's not a bad feeling golf ball. It does feel really soft. There is a slight press, but nothing too crazy. It feels soft. Definitely aimed at the beginner crowd for sure. Okay, so as far as the feel goes with this golf ball, honestly, I was a little surprised because how it came off with the putter, how it came off with the wedge was so different. It had so much bouncy ball effect and it just sprung, and I was kind of hoping it would be the same here, but that's not the case. Once you get to the short irons, mid irons, woods, things like that, unfortunately, the golf ball just doesn't spring off as hard. The golf ball is pretty soft for the most part. It ain't super soft by any means. You definitely still feel it. But overall, I will be interested to see what these numbers are just because of how it felt. Once you get to the driver, it does seem to have a little bit more pop in there, but it still does feel the same. It's pretty quiet. There isn't a lot of loudness to it, but there's still feedback, which is kind of nice. All right, so let's hop into these numbers and let's see how we did. Starting off, as always, with the 9-iron, 91.5 miles per hour on your ball speed. That's about average. It's not great, not good, just right there in the middle. 125, that's slightly below average. And 118.5 on your carry distance, that's slightly below average, and then a 24.1, which is a high launch. So that probably had a lot to do with it right there. The high launch probably lost me a couple yards, but I will say that with the 9-iron, this golf ball was pretty inconsistent with its launch. If you look at it, I deleted it. I wish I could have showed you, but basically what happened was it was either I got a 20-degree launch or a 30-degree launch, and I know that sounds insane because it's so different, but honestly, that was the case. I mean, it was either 20-20, 30-30-30, 20-30, 20, and so it's like it ends up averaging in the middle at 24. But overall, it either went really, it went about mid-flight or it went super high. And anytime you're getting the ball super high like that, you are going to lose a little bit of yards. So I didn't like the inconsistency there, and I don't like that I lost a couple yards. 7-iron, so we're getting into that now. 6,380 on your spin, that's average. 106.4, that's just slightly below average, but in that average range. 158.3, again, I lost a little bit of yards. And then 146.8, lost a little bit of yards as well. And then 19.1, a higher launch. So again, the ball is launching high, which it said it was going to do, I give it that, but unfortunately it's hurting that, it's not helping it. So unfortunately there, those numbers are just kind of mediocre, nothing special yet. And with a two-piece distance golf ball, unfortunately, I wish I could say I have high hopes for the next few numbers, but I'm a little worried, to be honest with you. Let's go ahead and get into the hybrid. 3,671 on your spin, that's below average. 121.2 on your ball mile per hour speed. Holy cow, that is very fast, very nice. 199.9. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. 187 and a very low launch at 13.3. Okay, so let me dive into that real quick. So first of all, I will say the ball speed, the golf ball is now reacting a lot better than it did, which means it is a little firmer. It probably is meant for not slow swing speeds, to be honest with you. I mean, a lot of the time they're going to advertise a golf ball like this for a senior. That's definitely not the case, because if you're losing distance with your short irons, there's a lot different golf balls out there that would suit your game a lot better than this would for sure. But now that we're in there at that 121.2 ball mile per hour speed and 199, which is insane, I'd have to slow my swing down. That's way too fast. But the thing that concerns me is low spin and a very low launch angle. And I hate to be the guy that's like, upset at such high numbers, but the ball mile per hour speed and the distance don't mean a lot when you're not getting any spin and you're not getting any height. So yes, can I take my hybrid and rip one 200 yards? Yes, I can, but I can't get it to stop on the green, so I'm going to have to hit it way before and hope it rolls up without having a bad bounce somewhere. And since it's a low launch, I have no hope of sticking the green or even coming near it anyway. I mean, I'm probably going to have to hit the golf ball, no lie, 15 yards short of the green and hope it rolls up. Not how I like to play my game. I like to hit fades with my hybrids. I like the golf ball to get up in the air, and I like it to spin a little bit. I don't need 199 yards. I need more of 175, 180. So I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer and say, oh, that sucks, but unfortunately those numbers just really don't do a lot for me. Yes, they're fast, but you want to be able to stick a green. You can't always have the luxury of running up a green. What if the sand trap's in front of you? What are you going to do then? You just have to lay up. So it kind of puts a handicap on you, pun intended. All right, so getting into the driver now, final numbers here. 2,784 on your spin, which is directly average. 251.4 on your total distance. Okay, so now we're talking. That is an excellent distance number. 138.1 ball mile per hour speed, 231.3 on that, and then a 15.7 launch. So the launch with the driver actually was pretty decently high, and those numbers are phenomenal. So that's some of the best driver numbers I've ever tested. I mean, that's definitely top 3, top 4, somewhere in there. So that's really impressive. It's just a shame the hybrid couldn't have done a little better, because that driver really performed well. It felt great. Man, if only a couple of the numbers had been just as good as that, we would really have something on our hands here, but unfortunately we don't. Okay, so real quick, I'll touch on durability and then I'll dive into the numbers and see what they mean. Durability-wise, it did pretty good. I mean, it is a cheap Surlyn cover, and the good thing about Surlyn is it is pretty durable. So you're going to be able to beat the tar out of it pretty good, and it's going to be fine. You're not going to have any issues as far as durability. I mean, there's a couple scrapes and cuts, but after 60 shots, I mean, you could use this golf ball for a couple rounds for sure, you know, especially with that. I mean, there's no cover on it. It's just a hard plastic outer cover, so I expected it to do well, and it did. So that is something it has going for it, at least. Okay, so diving into the numbers, you know, as far as what all this means, who's the golf ball for, do I recommend it? Boy, it's really tough. I love the driver numbers. They were so phenomenal, but unfortunately, that's really the only good thing about it. You know, the golf ball design was okay. It didn't have an alignment tool. You know, around the greens, there wasn't really any spin. It just felt okay. You know, there was just a lot of mediocrity. I mean, yes, the driver ended up being top 3, top 4, but when it's surrounded in a pool or a lake at this point of mediocrity, it just doesn't stand out. And remember, like I said at the beginning of this video, when you have a company that's a little more direct to consumer, a little more under the radar, you have to really have a golf ball that raises eyebrows to get people to come to you. You know, that's how the Costco Kirkland golf ball got in. You know, no one wanted to buy a Costco golf ball, but then all of a sudden, you know, you got these big golfers going out there and they're like, no, this golf ball is legit, and then people started buying it, and then pretty soon it became one of the most popular golf balls on the market. Well, that's kind of how you have to do it when you have a beginner brand or a more direct-to-consumer brand, but unfortunately here, there's just not enough. I mean, out of 8, 9 categories, there's one really good one, and the rest are just kind of mediocre, so I'm not able to recommend it, unfortunately. Guys, as always, keep watching to keep saving and keep learning. We will continue on our golf ball journey to find the perfect golf ball for your swing. Until then, next time.